So this video is a little bit of footage for my own posterity, kind of breaking down my experience in leagues, how much I enjoyed it, what was a challenge, you know, just the different things that I experimented that I've never really touched in the main game. I had never played leagues, I had never played Iron Man mode seriously. I've only done, excuse me, thank you. I've only done Winter Todd, and I had 2 irons die over there, so, you know, it hasn't been a great experience until leagues. Granted, the XP rates here are ridiculous, as you can see, but truly it's been a wonderful experience. I've learned a lot. I've been able to experiment pieces of content that either I haven't or probably will never do on my main. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the few things that I've been able to accomplish during leagues. I chose the areas of Tyranwen, because Prif is a thing. Prif was actually the reason I started playing leagues. A friend of mine in Syrian, shout out to him, convinced me to play leagues because Tyranwen was a thing. Priftiness is one of my favorite pieces of content because my favorite boss in the whole game is Gauntlet. So I thought to myself, well, if I can do Gauntlet and I can try to complete the log, that would be great. And it turns out that this account is actually a hardcore Iron Man that died at Gauntlet. This would be an amazing way to avenge it, even though this is leagues. So I chose Tyranwen, I chose Asgarnia, and I chose Mauritania. We had a lot of fun in those areas. It was great. Ma'am, excuse me, rude. Anyways, as I was saying, okay, fine. No! Whatever. You know what? Bye. Goodbye. Mayam. I don't want your dirty fish. So as I was saying, Dragon tier is, if I'm not mistaken, it's nearly 60,000 or... So as I was saying, I completed a total of 490 tasks. You know, a little bit of everything. A little bit of skilling, a little bit of just random stuff, a little bit of questing, PVMing of course. And ultimately I got 45,000 points just because it's a nice number. It was a nice goal to set myself. I would have gone for Dragon tier, but I started leagues a little bit late and I didn't play as much as I wanted to, so it was very unrealistic. I had a blast regardless. In regards to my relics, I chose Endless Harvest because I love excess resources and I love not having to bank. I chose Last Recall because of course it's freaking broken. Wonderful for PVMing. Quick Shot because I am a ranger on my main and I love ranging, and also because if I was gonna unlock Tyranwen, which I did, I was gonna try Zolra. 1-tick blowpipe, by the way, is amazing. I chose Unnatural Selection because I don't care about clue scrolls. I feel like this was a great way to boost some tasks and also boost XP. It would also help me with some bosses in Asgarnia, like Serb. That was pretty cool. It was all pretty nice. I chose Infernal Gathering. The idea that you could basically just process double resources, by the way, and going to the bank directly with your choice of what you want to do with these resources. The XP boost is insane. It was just broken. These two honestly harmonize really well. And finally, I chose Draining Strikes because I had the range relic. If I had chosen something like Weapon Specialist, I wouldn't have really benefited because my melee is just regular speed. So every 5 ticks or 6 ticks, like a God Sword spec or whatever, it wasn't really practical. So I thought Draining Strikes was really good, basically to aid me in a lot of PVM and Slayer content. And for Exploding Strikes, honestly, I didn't really have access to Chinchampas, or rather I did, but not unlocking Kandran basically doesn't give you access to box traps, so yeah, I was basically taunted by the red chins at Prif. As for quests, honestly, I couldn't really do very much. A lot of these are area locked, so I just did whatever I could, and I did as many as I could for the diaries. Basically, I couldn't do the Falador diary because this required wearing full prospector. I didn't really have enough time to get the nuggets, so I just ditched this. I completed Karam, which was really cool. Obviously, the hardest part was 91 rune crafting, but with Recall and the crafting cape, that shit is broken. It was pretty easy to do that. Lumberjane Draenor, Mauritania, and Varrock, there was no way I could complete it because I needed 153 kudos. Getting kudos with just fossils was gonna take forever, and I don't even know if it was possible. It probably was. I don't know. It was just too much work for what it offered. Now, in regards to skills, I did not have the time to max, unfortunately, but I think I got pretty far. I got base 80s. I got 25 mil in some of the skills, obviously in range, among other things. A lot of these things came from tasks that I had to do. So for example, I had to do fight caves 30 times. I got 99 Slayer for that. 25 mil wood cutting from getting 99 fire making with the Infernal Axe. It was a pretty fun journey to get all of these stats up, considering that since I've never played Iron Man, you know, it's nice to see these things kind of go up so quickly, use different methods to level up and whatnot. As for the gear and goodies that I acquired, first of all, I don't have either of these pets on my main, and neither does this account. So this is pretty interesting. I got really lucky on both of these. As for Jad, I got it at 5kc. He has a center that is adorable. And as for Zilly, I got her at 284? Yeah, 284. She was interesting. The Zilly grind was pretty bad. So yeah, basically, those were the pets that I got, which is pretty damn cool. They're both pretty badass pets, so that's cool. I didn't get a skilling pet, but honestly, I don't care. So for my range gear, basically what you're seeing is what I got. The best in slot that I had access to. Full armor, which took forever. Had access in theory to ranger boots, but obviously I wasn't going to do that. A granite ring from the grotesques, which is basically my best in slot ring for everything. And a blowpipe, and this was very interesting. I actually made two furies. I made a regular fury and a blood fury. And this thing was actually really fun to use. One tick blowpipe is just fucking broken. And I managed to get a bunch of rune darts because I had to do a fuck ton of Ciliana to get the hilt, the task that was to wield all 4 god swords. So that was pretty bad, but I did get a lot of darts out of it, so that was pretty cool. So in regards to melee, basically I got all of this stuff. I managed to do the Inferno, which is pretty interesting because I haven't even tried it on my main, but I decided to try it here. The 1-tick blowpipe, I thought it was pretty cool. I used steel darts because I didn't have access to anything else at the time. I barely made it, but I made it. I tried again to try and get the 5 Inferno runs task, but I got brutalized because I got to Zuck with no supplies. So I decided to just stitch it, and it would take a long time, so I just ignored it. I got myself a bludgeon as well. This was actually very useful at Nightmare because I believe it's the best in slot before the mace, so that was fantastic. We also got ourselves a Serp Visage. And I haven't even talked about the Blade of Saldor. Funny story, when I finally got the shards to create the Blade of Saldor, I was also trying to get the seeds for crystal armor. I did get crystal armor, but I actually reverted it to get some smithing XP. A funny story, I accidentally went to a woman all the way over here to the west of Prif trying to make the blade because I think I didn't have the level or something. I can't remember. The point is that I made a mistake and I accidentally made a fucking plate body, and I had to go right back into Gauntlet, do a few runs, then I got tired because I wasted like 200 shards. So I used up like 14 mil buying and reverting a lot of weapon seeds, and I got the shards that way. It was terrible. But I got the blade. It's corrupted. This thing is broken. It's actually the best thing I could have done. It hits really high. It looks wonderful, and it's basically a representation of my favorite content in the game. I'm happy I did that. We also got ourselves a Nightmare Staff, which is pretty darn cool. I never got an orb. I kind of got tired of Nightmare after a while. It's very exhausting, especially because I was doing duos with my friend for a while, for the first like 50 KC. After a while, we just started doing like 5-man and stuff, and it was really fun, but I decided to just stop after a while, and I also wanted to do more gauntlets. So in regards to rares, I got a Robin Hood hat, which was pretty cool. I got a dark bow. I was actually trying to get a death talisman, and I got like 6 of these on the way there. It was terrible. I went like 5 times over drop rate or some shit. It was so bad. Crystal bow, which is basically my first serious range weapon. And I got the armor crossbow. So now for the collection log, we basically completed a couple logs, like completed, and as for other things, there are logs like this, like Sire. We had a lot of things during 105 KC, which is pretty cool. Barrows, we didn't particularly complete any set aside from barracks, but it was a really cool thing. I haven't done barrows since 2006, so this was really nice. This was basically a trip to the past. Really, really fantastic. As for Serb, honestly, we didn't get much. We just got the Prim. I never unlocked Desert, and I wasn't planning to, honestly. And I would have never gotten Ranger Boots. So for God Wars, this is where we start. I completed Ziliana completely, but as you can see, 500 KC, 1 hilt, 2 of these, 8 of these. She was just laughing in my face. But I got her child, so she can fuck right off. For Grador, we got everything as well. Not the pet, but of course, we basically completed it. The Tassies took forever as well. 259 KC, slightly over drop rate, but it's fine. I got tons of other uniques, so that was pretty cool. Kriara, we completed the log. This was a disgusting grind. For those of you who don't know, Kriara is a really terrible boss to kill, and the minions are not exactly a quick kill because I was using steel darts. Even with the one tick, it was pretty fucking bad. The problem that I was having was that near the end, I was getting helms, a lot of helms. I got 3 helms, then a hilt, and then I went on a dry streak. I think it was like 220 dry or something, and then I finally got these one after the other. So I'm really happy about that, but it was a long grind. As for Krill, we also completed him. As you can see, the hilt took a little bit of time. I think it was under drop rate slightly. Thankfully, Krill was a really fast boss to kill. I didn't even have to move, I just had to be careful not to get stacked by the special. So that was pretty cool. When I finally got this, I was basically done. So for things aside from God Wars, we have Nightmare. I obviously didn't complete it. I only did 145 KC, but I think I was pretty lucky to have gotten these 2 pieces. So that was really, really nice. I'm very happy that I got those, and this thing looks really badass. It looks like I'm gonna kill someone, so that was pretty cool. So basically, aside from the Mutadin and the jars, we got everything from Zora. Thankfully, we got the Tanz Fang. The first Fang that I got was the Magic Fang. It wasn't the Tanzanite Fang. So that was a little sad because I don't have access. I didn't choose Kandarin. That was kind of sad, but it doesn't matter. We got the Fang. Fun fact about Zora, I had never done Zora seriously. I have like 9 KC on my main, and 5 of those, or 4 or whatever, were with a T-bow and with a friend guiding me through Discord. And although it's not the same thing, simply because the speed of the crystal bow and the crystal armor and the DPS are so ridiculous that it doesn't really count. I think I got to Jad phase like twice, and it was because I was having really bad RNG. But the fact that you can kill Zora here in 42 seconds with steel darts just goes to show that it's not exactly the challenge that it is in the main game. Regardless, this was a really cool grind, so I'm very eager to try out Zora in the main game. Zora is one of those very few pieces of content I've not done on my main, so I'm really excited to try it. Inferno, like I mentioned, I got 1 KC, and I decided never to go back. I actually completed Grotesque Guardians, aside from the jar and the pet, of course. I was searching for a Tourmaline core because I wanted to do Zilliana, and I was getting brutalized by the minions. Same thing as at Kriara, actually. I was actually wearing prims during the first couple hundred kills, but I decided to just grind out Grotesques. And besides, killing them 100 times was actually a task, if I remember correctly. So it's pretty cool that I finally got this. I didn't get too unlucky. I feel like this was actually a really lucky drop. And honestly, with the Blade of Saldor, it was super easy. Dusk was like melting, and Dawn was obviously melting with 1 tick blowpipe. So that was really, really cool. Okay, so this is the big one. This is not the true KC, of course. My KC at Gauntlet is 267. Let's go, please. So I only did 25 kills of the regular one. I think I didn't get a single unique, and if I did, I think it was maybe 1 crystal weapon. But I did a lot of Corrupted. It's my favorite piece of content by far in the game. Again, I kind of wanted to avenge this account, and the game was laughing in my face at one point because I needed 6 of these total, and by the time I had like 4, I got 2 blades, I believe. Then I finally got the other 2, and then I kept getting blades, which is ridiculous. Like, true, they out for 3 mil each. In the main game, I only got 1, and here I got 5. Pretty incredible. Yeah, it was a good run. It was interesting. I had a lot of fun. I will show you the kill-death ratio now. Ooh. So for the kill-death ratio, I think I didn't do too bad. I died once, the regular one. I was trying to get the sub 5 minute, and I finally got it, but in between I died once. I think it was because I wasn't paying attention. I mean, sure, it is kind of embarrassing that I died once, but it's fine. It's fine. We got the sub 5 minute. That was a task. For the corrupted, I think I could have done a little bit better. On my main, I actually died 50 times with only 8 kills initially, and I stopped doing it until the update came out. I think this was actually really good regardless of the speed of the weapons. It's also really cool that I managed to get the sub 5-minute KC. Funny story, I actually got 4:59 first or something like that. I told my friend like, oh okay, I can finally relax and do like chill kills without being all try hard, and then I got this PB without even trying, which was amazing. Gauntlet was super fun. I wanted to do a little more before Leagues ended, but I don't have time anymore. So that's okay. It was fun while it lasted. So yeah, guys, that was basically my adventure in Leagues. Really fun. I think I might play my Iron Man. I have a hardcore in the making. It's at Wintertot. It's like 60 fire making or something. I really enjoyed this, and I think I would play Iron Man without actually following the OSRS guide. I hope that all of you who did play Leagues actually enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm actually super eager for Jagex to release another version of Leagues. It would be really fun, at least for me. This was my first League, so next time, since I know how everything works, I would definitely make a plan way ahead of time to try and go for Dragon Tier. Granted, I do have a life, so I can't play like every day, but if I can at least get Rune in the next League, that would be just fine. Anyway, take care guys, thank you for watching, and bye!